Hello and welcome, my name is iwanPlays. 1.5 months have passed since Ravenfield opened the doors of its workshop on Steam, so it is time to take a first overview look at the results. For more mods, maps and news around Ravenfield, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications. We are going to look at the top 10 custom Ravenfield maps by popularity. Let's go. Number 10. Iceberg. Iceberg was made by Dust Raptor and features impressive character model replacement and excellent integration of machine gun emplacements into the environment. The main battlefield is mostly a flat design, making it very hard, next to impossible, to accomplish total or even dominant takeover. So you have to get very smart with boats. The new team and squad controls should make it more interesting though. Now, as I said, this list of maps is sorted by popularity. If you think there are maps more deserving of these ranks, you are very welcome to make your point in the comments below this video. The next map turns Ravenfield into toys. Number 9. House Wars. House Wars by Hatch the Egg, a classic tiny soldier design of a map. Development of House Wars stopped because the designer accidentally deleted the Unity project. There's a lesson to learn here. Remember to make backups, kids. One fascinating feature of this map: daytime has no tanks, night mode has tanks. An interesting use of the available tools when scripting is restricted. I have a love-hate relationship to this kind of map because they tend to be way too open-spaced, but House Wars has a really interesting layout. Watch out, nostalgia ahead in the next map, but also kind of not. Number 8. Dust 2 Modified. Dust 2 Modified by something like ... This is a map based on a Counter-Strike classic. But it is not just a Counter-Strike map clone, it's a massive modification of the thing, actually making it well suitable for huge Ravenfield matches. It even includes vehicles, although it feels a bit more right when you turn them off. The custom-made character models are a huge, delicious cherry on top of this counter cake. Slightly depressing, the comments. Do the original! Original Dust 2 PLS! Original Dust 2 with the models, please! Notwithstanding what you think of these maps in particular, give the video a thumbs up if you approve of me doing these kind of summaries all around Ravenfield. The first one I made was the top 10 bugs, I think. Or was it about hidden locations? Anyways, the next map is a big one. Number 7. Eclipsed Fortress. Eclipsed Fortress by L. Kornasamu feels like a medieval fantasy battle map or an RPG city and village map. Pretty darn impressive. The map is extremely nostalgic because it revives Assault mode back from free-Ravenfield beta, something that has not been adequately replaced by battalions, yet. We have a varied selection of environments surrounding checkpoints, military bases, cities, towers, castles, a wall. The map is still in development. Additional spawn points are planned, Easter eggs too, more buildings to fill the empty areas and provide cover. Maybe even a river, maybe another flag. Let's stay tuned for this one. It turns out SteelRaven7 is a fan of the map himself. On a slightly related note, listen to his words in the comments. I especially like fighting this level on night mode, since the AI isn't able to spot you from quite as far away. If you are also annoyed by getting sniped by pistols from a kilometer away, you should also try playing maps in night mode, as dark as it is. I asked you to tell me in the comments what map you favor the most, but what about maps that don't exist yet? Which kind of maps do you want to be created and shared on the workshop? It is time for the next map. Get your infrared glasses out. Number 6. Trench Run. Trench Run by Constantineer. This map features the most beautiful use of environmental effects in a custom map as far as I have yet noticed. Must play at night indeed. This map features custom character models, and custom tank and gun models are planned for the future once this is supported. Awesome! The atmosphere of this map is top-notch. Also, the night mode kicks in just the right way, making it possible to sneak past enemies, creating a completely different feeling of risking your polygon life in a war as opposed to the usual fear of bullets hitting your behind all across a map. If you have never tried night mode in Ravenfield or did try it and said no thank you, then you have to give it another chance on Trench Run. The next map is very similar in a thematic capacity. Number 5, Trench Warfare. Even the title is similar. Trench Warfare by Colby recommends 200 bots and night mode as well. The battle takes place in the First World War and has a relatively simple layout with an airbase even. By the way, did you know that the Great War is also known under the hopeful name War to End All Wars? Ha, the planet can dream. Colby, the designer of the map, demonstrated an excellent grasp of handling non-constructive feedback. I just have to quote part of this. Basically, this is a response to somebody writing, "This map sucks and all other maps on the workshop suck as well." Paraphrased. Here is Colby's response. "It's fine not to like my map, but I think you are overlooking some pretty big points. The people who are making these maps aren't professional game developers. They are just people wanting to contribute to the community. They aren't getting paid to do this, they are doing it in their free time, and a lot of times people don't have that much free time. Say what you want, Colby's quite a cool cat." Let's swag over to the next map. Number 4, Sky Turtle. Sky Turtle by Nerf Crag Thanks. Wait, what? I'm not getting this joke, and neither are you. Okay, Sky Turtle by Clerf Nerfadoodle is a helicarrier CQC map and responsible for explosions not having an effect through walls anymore. Thank you, Sky Turtle. Thank you, Steel Raven. It was the second ever custom map for me to dedicate an entire video to. As J.W. Turner BH15 says, the biggest flaw is the minimap, or perhaps challenge would be a more appropriate word. If you haven't tried it yet, watch my video or play it yourself. This is quite a unique map. The next map. Oh boy, the next map. Number 3, Dogfight. Dogfight by Campister has so many planes, they just don't stop spawning, it's insane. Massive air battles featuring planes, helicopters, anti-air guns, slammers, sniping. 40 to 100 bots are recommended. The map Dogfight went through 5 iterations of updates already. Base layout was improved for faster access to floors and vehicles, boats and bunkers were added, and AA guns were made harder to hit. The number of vehicles and turrets in general was increased. More detail was added to bunkers and to the overall layout through placement of additional supply crates. And most importantly, optimizations were introduced in the latest update. Custom characters and vehicle models are on the wishful to-do list. It seems like Dogfight contributed to the improvement of plane AI in Ravenfield. Map creators might be contributing more than people think. I wonder how long before the first map mapper gets hired by Steel Raven 7. I have to admit, even though I understand how to steer the planes in Ravenfield, I'm not too good at flying them. Still, by far, this is the best map for flying planes, as you can respawn and get a new one nearly instantly. And there is no lack of targets in the sky. The next map. I thought the next map smelled bad. On the outside. Number 2, Hoth. Hoth by Vel, with contributions by Shiny Vodka MK14E and General Salmon. I love this Star Wars map. As flat as it is in the center, there's just so much going on. And who doesn't love flying between an AT-AT's legs, also known as Big Four-Legged Doggo? The map has been gradually improved with more bases, more detail, custom characters, and even a sound effect. By now it is very well rounded and perfect for epic battles. Definitely give it a try, definitely check out my video of it. So if Colby showed the golden way to respond to non-constructive feedback, then Vel shows the platinum way to burn salt. May I read this back to you? Big four-legged doggos really is the AT-AT walker, that is the only thing, that is what makes my blood boil, is that the link, okay, so please fix it and at least try to not put it in a really bad spot for a joke, okay? Vel's response: your grammar also makes my blood boil. Burn! And speaking of being on fire, let's go to the final map now. Number 1, Baneburg. Baneburg by John Bane is the best urban map right now, hands down. Watch my video of this map if you haven't it yet, it's cool. While making this video, a conversation happened between map makers about originality and the use of free assets. First up, my advice to handle aggressive feedback. Usually these people have no clue about copyright and that it's actually legal to use assets in different maps and games if the creator allows it. And of course, Colby's previously mentioned explanation of time and professionalism is a good way to think and or reply. Baneburg is an excellent example of what you can do with third-party assets. Very many of these are modified. The most common modification is destruction, but also nearly subtle details modifications are on the table. Unfortunately, the ability to modify models is not a default feature in Unity, and using Blender for this requires to get into a specific mindset that takes quite a big step backwards from a level designer's perspective, and it might seem like more work than it's worth as well, but the work put into this map did make this the #1 map in popularity on the workshop. However, it's only fair to say that John Bane also does have access to paid assets and paid tools which lie on the professional end of Unity game development, that many of us cannot or are not willing to invest into. The tools don't do the work for you, but they optimize the workflow, at least allowing to preserve time and energy. Anyways, let's go and find some details that were modified to make this map unique, even though very popular assets were used. This street lamp was most likely intact before getting quote-unquote customized. And those sparks I'm really sure were not here before. Same about the slightly dented lamppost or this truck with modified texture to make glass seem broken. Oh yes, you can see the wheels were removed in an unclean way, some faces are missing. The most prominent object of this map, however, must be this tank. All smashed up and bent, gorgeous. The other huge part of Baneburg's popularity stems undoubtedly from the use of environmental sound effects to enhance the experience. If you make a map, I encourage you to use subtle sounds. To be honest, some of the fires in Baneburg seem slightly too loud, but even if some sounds are not balanced enough, they enhance the map a lot. You can play all these maps only if you own the paid version of Ravenfield legally on Steam, and I hope those of you without it will be able to ask for an advance payment on your allowance so you can finally enjoy the real thing. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications for more maps, mods and news revolving Ravenfield. Thank you for checking out these maps. I did ask for your comments on your favorite maps, as well as your wishes about new custom levels. There is yet another thing I would like to know from you. As I'm planning to create a level making tutorial, I would like to hear from you what the biggest reason for you is to not make your own map. Most people probably will say not enough time, but if it's something related to not knowing how, where and what, I hope to be of use for first-time map makers explaining software and processes. So just let me know in the comments where you need the most help. Alright, I hope to read from you and also to see you in the next video. Until then, ciao!